How are you doing today, gardeners? Delia, what are we going to do today?
We're going to start planting our tomatoes for grafting later on.
There you go. Well, let's get going with this. All right, for our grafting today, what we're going to do is I have a 2-foot by about 30-inch, it looks like we're about half-inch mesh welded wire. And we're going to go put this over the top of our wheelbarrow. We need to get the potting mix, wet and everything, but there's a lot of sticks that come in with these and big clods and things like that. We're talking some pretty small. What size of wells are you planting? What size of wells are you doing here, Delia?
They're, as far as the wells, they look like 1 inch.
1 inch, 1 inch size wells. So we ain't got a lot of room to put a lot of sticks and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dump our potting mix in a little bit at a time. We don't need to go crazy, only doing a few trays, but we're going to go ahead and get that done, and let's go and get on it. All right, so we're using the Lambert LMHP high porosity, and Delia's going to scoop out the planter mix. We're going to get more, but we wanted to use this stuff up. It's a sphagnum peat moss type of a deal. And she's just going to go ahead and...
See, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, we got that big stick. She's going to toss it on the floor there for now. And there we go. Yep, it's dusty. It's bone dry. Yeah, that's bone dry. And break it up and just sift it right into the bottom of our wheelbarrow. This way, you know, it's got the perlite in it. But the main thing is we have something there, and it certainly this is all hard and dry and everything, but she'll get it sifted right in. And you can get it in by just going back and forth. You can see these sticks that we're pulling out and making a better potting mix than what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is cracked, ain't it? Yeah.
It's kind of, you think it doesn't need that much, but it's so dry.
Yeah.
So I don't want a big mud hole. Just want it moist enough to be able to put it in the trays, but I don't want it too muddy that you're not going to be able to, that it's not even going to go to the bottom of the tray. It's going to sit on top because it's so muddy. And it's cold.
It's cold. Now it's about right. You can see that. You can see it had a lot of dry spots in it.
How wet it is.
Well, yeah, but it's not absorbed in all of it. It hasn't absorbed in the whole thing. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yep. Peat moss, when dry, actually repels water, and so that's why you kind of got to be a little vigilant on it. Initially, when it's as dry as what I showed right there, you need to have a little extra water in there to help break that surface off of it, so this way it starts absorbing water. And this particular bag is Lambert LMHP, the high porosity. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and fill it up.
We're going to do 3 trays. One with the rootstock, which is
Maxifort.
We're going to do the other 2 are going to be tomato tops, which is red juice and be something.
Yeah. Well, we have BHN 589, and we also have Florida 91s.
Oh, that's right. We're going to do Florida 91s.
We have Florida 91s as well.
All right.
So now the secret behind joining these up, right, is you don't want to have, the key behind the grafting is to make sure they really match up. Is that right?
Yeah, the size.
So we actually,
when you put them together, you don't want the one to be wider, because then some of that stem is going to be exposed.
Well, and the stem is
what's
what's
less
pulling
that
it.
connects and
Yep.
it makes it one stem. So you want them
Yep.
to be about the same size for the stalk and the top.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm just going to fill the wells. I'm going to do it over here, so that you want it to get all the way to the bottom of the wells and not just sit on the top.
You just kind of want to make sure they get all the way to the bottom, don't you?
Right, right. And the center ones usually get full all the way. The ones that usually do not are the outside rows. So once you're done with this, I just kind of gently poke the outside rows.
Oop,
And,
yep.
and you can see
You're
that
right,
the outside
yeah.
rows don't get as much.
Yeah, you're right, because you're not pushing as much, yeah.
It's easier to push in the center of the tray.
Delia does 90% of this for us, and yeah, she's right. Spot on. Yeah, these don't get re-put in. Otherwise, you end up with a half-empty cell, won't
Right,
you?
once you start watering, they start settling, and yeah, you have a half-empty cell. Let me just take that.
Okay.
Hello. So what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day today is planting my tomatoes. I also got my germination chamber set up, and I've been doing this for a couple of years. So for me, it works. I know other people use old freezers that they put shelves in and use it that way, so it's nice and sealed. But I have just a regular plastic rack. And I have grow lights in them, and I will put grow light in the other ones, but I don't need the grow lights right now since I'm just starting to germinate them. But I do need the heating mats. I turned them on. They're getting nice and warm. I only have 2 shelves with heating mats, but I do totally enclose the shelving unit with heavy-duty plastic. So once I get my trays in, I will put the front cover on, and that one overlaps in the front so that if I need to open it, I can. I will open it, and I will just clip it to the sides and get to my plants when I need to water them or whatnot. But for now, I have just the back and the 2 sides done, and I have the other plastic. And once the plants start getting large enough that I need to grow lights, I actually will take the side and the front plastic off and just leave the back one because it's just too much of a pain to remove. It's also enclosed in the top and on the bottom. So the whole entire rack is totally enclosed in plastic so that it holds the humidity and holds the temperature while the plants are germinating. And like I said, once they're already up, I will take the plastic off. Now, in this case, once the plants are up, since these are going to be grafted, I will leave the plastic on so that it keeps the humidity and keeps the temperature that I need. So now I'm going to go seed. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Alrighty, so what I'm first doing is I'm getting sure I got my labels, and Ed made me some nifty labels that I'm going to put on the tags and also put one on the front of the tray. See, so that one has Red Dews, BHN 589, and Maxiford. The reason being that I normally just use a Sharpie on these little label sticks, and they always fade. And midway through the summer, or before I even get some of them in the ground, they fade, and I have no idea what's what. So he didn't want me to have that issue this year, so he made me those labels on his label maker. So I'm going to first do the red juice, and tomato seeds are so tiny, and there is a slight breeze here. I hope I don't lose any of them. And there we go. So this is the red juice, and this tray is the red juice tray. And they always come, normally they come inside a little wax envelope when they didn't this year. Alrighty. Now these things are so tiny, supposedly there's 500 seeds in there. So we shall see. So I'm just gonna pop one in each well and then slightly cover them when I'm done. So I'm only going to do half a tray today of each one except the Maxiford, the rootstock. I'm going to do the entire tray. Reason being that since the rootstock is a hardier growing plant, from what we understand is that that particular plant will grow faster than these other ones. So I'm going to do the one full tray and do half a tray of this and half a tray of that one. And then tomorrow I'm going to do the other half of this tray and the other half of that tray, so that hopefully we will have stems between both the rootstock and the regular tomato plants that we want being the same width and diameter, because we want the entire width of the stem to be grafted onto another plant that's the same size, so that we don't have gaps that are not touching another stem, which would then be open to any kind of issue, whether it being that the plant dies off more easily, or that bacteria or some kind of other thing that we don't want getting into that stem because it's exposed and open. But I'll be doing that for the next while, so I'll let you guys go for now, and then I will turn you on again later when I go on to my next step.
You can see she has the green seed. It don't need to be covered much, does it?
No, they're so tiny, but I don't want them to fly away.
Yep.
Because they will fly away, because there have been times when I know I have a seed in all the wells, and then when they start growing, it's like, where did they go?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you water them, if they're sitting too far on the top, when you water them, they will kind of come up with the water and float away to another spot.
Yep. It's right there. Yeah, I saw it.
That one's still sticking out.
Yep.
Okay, so this side is done.
So you're going to do just this side.
Right.
And then tomorrow you're going to do the other side.
Yep.
We're trying to space them because of why?
I already told, because the rootstock is a sturdier plant and it'll grow faster than these other ones.
That's what we're hearing.
That's what you're hearing.
So we're trying to space things out.
Put your tag in the front.
Okay. Yep.
And then a tag.
Yep. There's a red deuce right down there. Yeah. We got a tagging machine. This is not a what do you call it? It's not a greenhouse tagger. It's just simply.
This is BH.
Yeah. It's just simply a tagging machine. So anyway, we got. You know, I made some tags. So this way, there's nothing fading. And these are weatherproof. What I like about them. I got it up in Office Depot. So which one are you doing now?
BHN.
BHN 589. All right, yep. Very exciting. Yeah, there they are. BHN 589.
And these look even tinier than the red deuce.
Oh, is that right?
And they're stuck on the label, on the gooey.
Yeah, them are. Part. Those are little tiny seeds, aren't they? Okay.
Okay, so I finished seeding for today. Like I said earlier, I did half a tray of the red dews, half a tray of the let me see what it's called. It's got letters and numbers. BHN 589, and a full tray of the Maxiford, which is the rootstock. Tomorrow I will seed the rest of the tray of the of the red deuce, the rest of the tray of the BHN 589, and I will do half a tray of the of the Florida 91s. And then the day after that, I will finish that tray. And probably I will do another full tray of the red deuce and another full tray of the other two for regular planting. They're not going to be grafted. Like I said, this is my first year, so I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Hopefully these will work. But I do have a lot of seed that I ordered this year just in case they don't. What I'm going to do now is put the front of these two to totally enclose the chamber so that they stay humid and they stay warm. The mats are nice and warm now. I plugged them in about an hour ago, so they're nice and warm. But that will tend to dry out the cells really quickly. So if I cover it up, it'll keep some of the moisture in. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Well, it's totally enclosed now, and that will keep the plants from drying out too fast, and it'll also keep it nice and warm for them. Like I said before, they're on the heater mats, and we will be probably watering them on a daily basis to keep them nice and moist.
Nice and moist.
So
how much humidity is in there now? We put in our humidifier.
63.6.
63% humidity in there as of right now, and it hadn't had anything in there. But that is 100% humid dirt. So anyway, it'll all go. And we have heat mats on. We got, what, 2 heat mats?
One on each level.
Yeah, 1 on each level. So that'll be our heat mats to help get everything fired up and starting. How long? So how long do you normally see these tomatoes come up?
According to the little chart in the mat, it says 6 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna put lights on them after they
once they start. Once they emerge.
Yeah. Once they emerge.
And then when we graft them, we got to take the lights off and shade this whole entire thing so no light gets to them.
Yeah. No light can go in. We probably ought to. We could even cover the door there.
Cover the window.
Yeah. Cover the window so we keep it because you just don't want the plants to grow.
Well, we don't want the plant to waste any energy in
that's
growing.
true.
We want them to spend the energy in healing, and reconnecting themselves to the other plant.
Yeah. And what we're using is these scalpels here that we got. Go ahead and from these are Weeby knives. These are replaceable knives, and we have these scalpel blades, and they make it nice to do this kind of work. It's a single-sided blade. And that's
very sharp.
Yeah, very sharp. And like I said, it's replaceable, so it's got a handle. And we'll go ahead and do that when that time comes. So, all right. Well, very good day. You done half of them? You done half of these things?
I did a full tray of the rootstock and half a tray of each of those. And when I'll do the other half tomorrow and do another tray of those, do the rest of them.
And we're spacing them out because
we want them to be the same size.
Well, we just don't know how fast the Maxifort.
From what we understand, they will grow a little bit faster than those.
Well, faster or slower, and so we don't quite know how. We're going to know after this year, but we need to have the same exact size of stock as we do rootstock. So that's the reason we're having so many. We're varying our days on this because we have to have something for that rootstock to match up in about week 3, 2.5 to week 3. So anyway, it looks good. And you got, like I said, Delia, you came up with this plastic incubator type of a deal. How long ago? 2-3 years ago?
The first
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, and we actually have pretty good.
Yeah, we started them really early, and actually we had this in the garage. It was really cold.
Yeah.
And they grew just fine in there.
And our room in here, 62 degrees in here, and that's kind of where we're at. It'll get warmer with the sun coming in the window and stuff like that, but our ambient air is about 62, and by having the plastic covering this, you can turn right around and hold some additional heat from the heat mat itself, and you got it covered on top as well.
All the way around. The bottom is covered, top's covered, and all 4 sides.
Yeah, it's all covered. So anyway, we'll use some black plastic here to cover it all up when we actually do the grafting, and bring you guys along for that. But hey folks, if you like these types of videos, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. We'd sure appreciate it. And like always, come grow with us.